Welcome back. It's been a long break, but the action will resume, Mike. It is Dignitas female versus what are now called Rugrats, and then a bunch of young talent. And Mike, we were talking about this off before we went on air, and this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Now,
I'm excited for
Yeah.
it. Zone's coming in hot.
Hot.
Tonight. I mean, they've already played Singularity in Philadelphia Online, beaten them. Then they went over to the Mountain Dew League, played their opening match against Space Station, absolutely dunked on them. So they're coming in having bested two really strong rosters, and now they're trying to take through this game on Train. I'm pretty excited to see what kind of form they're in.
All right, now ZoneGG coming in hot with two back-to-back wins on what were considered, it's supposed to be overdogs. The underdogs coming in hot. Now Dignitas does have a lot of utility, and they seem to want grips on the outside control, so Emily will draw first blood. Now Hunter does answer back, but there's absolute chaos now on the A site.
Nice taps out from Koga. He's looking for a third. He's not going to find it, and they've got Milk in by Old Bomb, so she's trying to pincer them in, but there's just not quite enough bullets in the gun, and it's all going to be on Milk. She's got low opponents. A tap or two would take a couple, but she's still going to need to find those taps, and they got three bodies to look her way. She spotted the first, and Xander won't give her the opportunity. A quick headshot and a round secured. And one thing we have to talk about with this Dignitas roster, we touched on it a little bit right at the beginning of the night, but obviously they've just made a move. Kath has been removed from the roster. They're figuring out the new normal, and it looks like that new normal might involve Thea. I don't know whether she's just standing in or whether they're potentially giving her a trial here, but she's in the server, and obviously a player that's well known in the LAN scene. I saw her compete this last week in a GexCon, but it'll be interesting to see if maybe she's an option for this roster going forward. What's not an option is this second round.
Yeah, that nade just pretty much melted every single player on Dignitas. That was a rough, feels bad nade. But I suspect it's a little bit of both, right? It's kind of like a tryout or stand-in plus tryout. You know, if she performs well, if they like how, you know, how she meshes with the squad, I'm sure they'll give her an extended stay. And it is unfortunate for Kat that she will be making her departure from the squad. Now, the other thing as well is that Dignitas is being coached, and I imagine, you know, kind of XP3's in that leadership role on this squad as well. And he's a big piece, I think, for Dignitas' structure and Dignitas' well, structure.
Got to build that structure, man. That's important. I mean, here we're seeing they're building some structure in the round from ZoneGG. They got aggressive in towards T-Con. They've cleared that out. There is a Dignitas player waiting around on the other side of the smoke. It's going to be Thea. The stand-in / new addition. We'll need some clarification on that at some point. She's gained to the space, brought it back, and that's a shadow spotted from Koga, so that's going to turn into an easy frag. Koga maybe getting a little aggressive here, pressing his luck. So now a man advantage available for Dignitas. They can take that. They can slow down. They can really work it. And it looks like they're going to work it towards inner, where only Xander is left to hold.
Yeah, now Train is a bit harder of a map to get rolled on. Now, of course, if Pop Flash comes in, it's something needed to be done here for ZoneGG, and they've gained, or at least regained the advantage. Balance it out, but the hits coming in towards the B site now. Smoked flashbangs, and there's still Xander here, and the rotations are all coming in as well. And Xander turns around and finds Milky on the sidewalk, and suddenly it is chaotic now on the B site.
Bodies dropping, though. They can secure a plant, and they've got an advantage. The problem is Swisher goes high and says, no plant for you, no players surviving. They had everything to work with in that round, Dignitas, but they just couldn't quite get the bomb punched in quick enough. So the pincer comes in from either side, and ZoneGG recover. That looks so good for Dig. It's going to be a bit of a heartbreaker round to lose it. That might be one they're looking to get back. It's so tough to get started on that T side on Train. And you've got to take every potential advantage you have.
Agreed.
They've failed to capitalize here.
Especially when you're considered the underdog as well, right? You really need to capitalize on every single advantage. So here we go, into the Molotov they go, and Xander just mowing them down. Koga's having fun on the ladder like Mario. And Bob is attempted to be planted, but Xander will not be letting that one go. But actually, nah, I'm just kidding. She lingers up top too long and gets shut down by Hunter. So there it is. ZoneGG picking up the 4th round as expected, of course, as that was just full eco.
Yeah, I mean, that was maybe a slim window of opportunity for Art to get the bomb plant. Obviously, there's not going to be much expected after that, but if she gets that first kill and just flies off of the top straight onto the bomb train, picks up the C4, punches the number, maybe she wins the race against time before they catch up and prevent her from doing so. It's going to be challenging going forward. I mean, you can already see they've got an op out on Emily, but it's limited in terms of utility, to train. Now the economy's healthy for the CT side. They've got all the nades they want in the world. They've got the op in the hand of Hunter, who is absolutely insane when he's hitting his shots. And based on the record so far this night, I'd say he's hitting his shots. So this is going to be really challenging on the defense to get past. That's a nice dunk nade out from Xander. You don't often see teams go for it, but it can be so rewarding if you find the timing. And he does exactly that.
Yeah, now while this is happening, Dignitas are slowly gaining ground towards Ivy. Now, there's really nobody here, so except Hunter, of course, who's holding it from the side red. If they walk into him, that will be free picks for them. And Swisher's holding down ladder, and Swisher's not letting go of ladder, but Rain and Emily, they do find 2 kills, and suddenly the advantage is sort of manageable now for Dignitas. They just need to figure out what exactly is going on here on the map.
One of my biggest pet peeves, Roy, as a caster, is watching players or watching teams devote too much to ladder room, right? I feel like, just based on what I've observed, if there's sort of 2 approaches to ladder room. Either you go in with overwhelming force and make sure you're going to get that trade, or if you lose that initial player down, you just let them go. Because when players do this sort of staggered thing, where one person drops and then a second drops, this round doesn't go the way of Dignitas. They get mopped up. That eventual ladder presence is their undoing. When players do this thing where they sort of drop someone, let that person die, and then drop the second person, it just sets it up for the spray. The players are already lined up. They know their lineup. It's just going to be so tough to win out that second duel. Either you drop on each other's heads, you drop with a flash, you drop with something, or you let it go.
Look at those nades. Look at the utility early coming out from ZoneGG. It's been incredibly strong towards his A side. They're just absolutely controlling the pace, doing so much damage that it's killing the confidence here for Dignitas. And they're just getting slowly mowed down one at a time without even able to make any space. They're still stuck towards E-Box. It's a minute 30, and this gun round's already over. They only found 1 kill as well.
It's rough. This is that. I mean, this. Again, we've talked about it. This CT side of trading is so potentially deadly. And if you get started on the right note, it's going to be so tough to unseat them. Swisher, I think, accidentally bought a PP Bison. I was almost hoping he'd try and play with that in this round. Not going to happen. So there's a Bison down in CT spawn. That's clearly going to be the critical piece for Dignitas if they can go back and find it. But it looks like they're just going to group up and try and get a bomb plant somewhere on the server. It's going to be challenging to say the least. They've got pistols. They've got a little bit of utility to try and close some gaps, maybe sneak out a bomb plant. These forward positions from the CT side should be very tough to get past. Koga annihilating players as they drop one by one into the ladder room. Tilting me just a little bit. Just a little bit, Roy.
This time he was full blind. Yeah, I think he was full blind, but now they're unable to get out of T-Con safely. Of course, the smokes and flashbangs gave away their intent. Now Rain is looking to do what she can, but the support flash is... Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, not bad. 2 kills to lower the amount of economy that ZoneGG has. I don't suspect that will play a factor in the next few rounds, but it might if Dignitas can string some rounds together here. But that was just an eco, of course. It is Dignitas once again trying to power through this gun round, and this is where something needs to change, right? Dignitas needs to pick up this round, otherwise we're starting to tread into kind of the same phenomenon that we saw in the first matchup with ATK and CLG Red. If you don't get this gun round, you fail to establish respect, and they're just going to get ran over.
Emily might get rewarded here. They get a little too aggressive. So now that's an opening pick, and that space gained as well. Thea can just sit here. They're going to try and recover the op. She should be able to punish, but a Proto's just a little bit too quick on the trigger. So brings back the man advantage. Pressing the issue at what should have been a deadly angle makes it work. Now this gets tougher for Dignitas. They had the advantage. They've still done a fair chunk of damage. The problem is they need to find that wounded player and be able to capitalize. Oh, might just have it. Rain pops up in time, catches him as he tries to put a clip in his gun. So a Proto's out of the server. Now the window position or the office position is compromised. This is the site falling. It might just finally be Dignitas on the board. Koga and Xander are going to be left to hold them back, and those Xanders out onto the bomb train. He's a little bit too hasty, as Artstar will be able to capitalize. Leaves it all to Koga, who's certainly going to try and do the damage, but Emily is predicting his angle, holding for it, pushing into it, and claiming that first round for Dig.
That's a great round to pick up as well. I mean, look at the economy for ZoneGG. Because of that double kill from Rain in the full eco, they actually might be able to break their economy if they can string this round together right here. This is pretty much the full investment for ZoneGG, so a massive swing round coming up right here for Dignitas. And if they pick one up, then we might have a half on our hands.
This could get very interesting indeed. Once again, they're standing up on top of that ladder position. And it's just been such a horror show for them early. It's a little scary. He's got the information. Swisher, he drops a nade and gets a shot in response, so he at least knows somebody was towards the top of the ladder. It's a little bit of info for the squad to play around. And they're having such luck towards the inner bomb site, or such solid play towards the inner bomb site, that they can do that classic cheat of 4 players towards A. Timing here might be cool. The Ivy push is coming through. There's a smoke to cover it off, but as they start to move out, T-Con space is being covered by Dignitas. Thea tries to walk through smoke, and it's a bold play, but it's not going to connect so far. Body's being traded. Swisher still rock solid in towards the ladder, finds 2 for free. And now it's left to Rain and Emily, the dynamic duo, to try and get out. And while they'll find an opener, there's still 3 more to eliminate from the bomb train to be able to get a plant.
Back to the bomb spots. Emily, a missed shot leaves her dead. Now Rain is playing around the bomb site, trying to do what she can, but there are just so many CTs flooding from every direction. She's unable to manage it successfully, and it is Zone picking up the 8th round. There was hope there, Mike. There was so much hope. I believed in the turnaround here for Dignitas, but with that round, luckily they still have some money, so that's not an issue right there. But ZoneGG, they're inching towards stability, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, there's still opportunity. If they claim this one, they can break that eco just a little bit. They can make it rougher. The problem is that they lose this, their loss bonus, it's not ideal. They're probably going to have to take an eco. They have a surprising amount of cash in the bank, though. I mean, Art and Milk still have 2,800, 2,100 respectively. So there's a bit of an opportunity here.
Sure, and they're on the max loss as well, so
can they work with it?
Oof, okay, that's a good nade. So we should brought down to 39 HP.
Molly smoked out. You don't often see that committed. Usually that Molly comes in, it's just instantly the retreat. But he wants to stick around. He doesn't want to give up any free real estate whatsoever. He's going to be a stickler. He's stubborn on towards the site. This could get risky. They're coming in towards the B ramp. Xander has to swing. He's exposed, but he turns it into 2. Might be able to find the 3rd as well. There hasn't been able to be a trade, and the Molly goes down to make sure that that won't happen. Now the site is closed for business. Swisher's holding the ladder. There are floods of CTs out on towards B. This is just going to be a struggle to get back at all. Yeah, the issue is the bomb fell into the site, and they have no way to enter now. They're being held down by 4 players. The flank's being held down as well from ladder. So Dignitas' hand is pretty much forced right here. Now Swisher is just relentless. Look at this aggression coming up. Finds the 1st. Now able to find the 2nd. Okay, good damage. Again, they still have the full loss. I mean, if Art can get 1 more right here. Oh, it's so close. If Art could have gotten 1 more right there, that profits would have been turned around. ZoneGG, though, picking up the 9th round. They're looking scary right now, Mike. They are indeed. Well, what I can say so far for Dignitas is, first of all, they don't run the risk of being our second 16-0 of the night. So that's a positive one. They've already gotten that monkey off their back. So that threat, that specter is out of there. But they've also looked pretty solid in some of their early rounds. The way they want to play it and the idea that they're having. They're just not quite executing once push comes to shove. So if they tighten that up a little bit, train T-side notoriously difficult. Maybe they can eke out a couple more rounds here and make this more realistic once this half switch. But Zone are hitting all their shots, so it really is going to take an upping of the game for Dignitas to be able to contest. That's a good way to get started, though. Emily finds herself an opening frag towards Ivy, and that's going to put more pressure onto the ZoneGG defense, but they are not flinching in the slightest. That might make them, though. The aggression punished once again. They're maybe getting a little bit too bold. Koga answers back, but still an advantage for Dig as they start to push on. And the Rugrats, they're maybe being put to bed finally. I say that. Swisher gets an answer, and now the numbers starting to drop. It's a little messy back and forth. They're eking out time, and you're seeing the bomb actually start to rotate towards inner. There's no one here from the CTs to defend. This should be a plant confirmed. And if Thea can do some more damage here, find 1 more, and that will be the round. Spray goes a little high and wide, so now the plant will come through, and it's an even situation as we move into the closing round.
Wow, Emily just almost decapitated Xander. And I mean, Xander's read out this round so well as well. He saw her trying to go towards B, so he's on the quick rotate, but now the remaining zone players are trying to flood out of their positions, but they have a lot of utility that's helping them definitely, and they're both burning alive. R-Star and Emily both unable to escape the fire, and that's another round for Zone. They really needed that one, Mike. That's not a round they could have dropped.
That's a painful one for sure. That really does hurt if you dig. That was your opportunity. You had the advantage going through. You had every possibility to take it. and it just gets shattered around you. Now, double digits for ZoneGG, and they'll be able to keep buying Dignitas. It's not really amounting to much. They're sort of throwing money into the void and hoping it'll turn into a round, and so far they just haven't been awarded. It hasn't worked out. And Zone, even when it seems to be falling apart, or rather Rugrats, even when it seems to be falling apart, they've got enough in the banks to recover.
That's like the silver lining, isn't it? Now, flashbangs coming in towards Seacon. Of course, ZoneGG is looking for that control. Something they've been successfully getting towards Seacon, towards ladder. And I'm surprised we're not seeing Dignitas abuse Ivy a lot more. It's been kind of neglected by Zone, I find, on this game. I think the only round is really just a proto when he went aggressive with Hunter. Besides that, there hasn't really been much presence. It's been a lot more focused towards ladder. And now Dignitas wants to regain control, but Swisher's at such an off angle that he's impossible to blind. Now the advantage is for Zone. Milky trying to enter the B site, gets decapitated and removed by Proto. And now Xander from up above finds Artstar as well. And it's like, it looks like it's like crumbling one piece at a time here, Mike.
Just bit by bit. Thea, hearing footsteps, actually shoots at her own teammate, and that's not going to be the play because it gives away all of the info. And Emily trying to fall and find the op shot will just be cleaned up by Swisher. So he's close to a frag, but not followed through, not completed. And so a flawless round for the Rugrats side. They are sitting A-OK right now. I mean, the bottom of the board for Rugrats is a Proto who's on 5 and 4. They are sitting very pretty, and that's just really due to the fact that the rest of his team hasn't really been leaving much of the fragging to him. No flaw on his end. He just hasn't had the opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, Wisher gets 2 before at least being traded out. They commit all the bodies to ladder, and they will all find it to be their tomb. Koga with the quick swing from the E-box turns 1 frag into 3, and they just roll straight into round number 14.
Yeah, they're taking no prisoners either. I mean, Swisher's at 19 and 6. Xander is 15 and 3. And Koga, he has 14 kills and 8 assists, Mike. 8. That's almost 1 assist per round. Not quite, but, you know, almost 1 assist a round.
Quick maths. Close enough. 2/3
close enough.
Saves. Enough. Hunter's going for the opening pick. He's going to find it as well. The op just ringing out once again on train. It can be such a powerful map for it. And at least the answer comes here. Koga maybe not quite checking his angles as he pushes into T-Con once again. They weren't expecting the second presence there. Problem is for Dig, they're going to have to recover this bomb even if they take control towards B now, towards the inner site. It's just Xander to deal with and get back. And now rain lost into T-Con makes that a much more difficult question. So Thea's taking Ivy, but the problem is they don't have bomb. Right? Even if she gets through here, they're going to have to get back into T-Con to find it, and now Thea's all alone. A bit of an issue, a bit of an error here in the round, and it ultimately won't matter because they're going to find no space on towards the site. Either way, and a 13-1, this has just been brutal for Dig. I mean, it's train, so it's not out of the ordinary, but this isn't even just looking like classic train play. It's just looking like the Rugrats at this point are feeling so free and so confident off the back of 2 big victories earlier that you just can't stop them.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just momentum at this point, even if there was no skill behind it, right? They're off 2 great when Milky finds the opening frag. That's Koga brought down. Proto not quite willing to give up Ivy just yet. He's going to hold it down. If they try to force it, they might find themselves dead. Now, Milky, hurt but not afraid. She finds another kill. That's a 2-man advantage now. This is a round they can definitely take if they can get.
Swisher finds the timing, though. He's going to push right through this smoke. That's an easy frag. That's the bomb as well. They should be able to recover here, but he's got a strong spot to hold, and he's turning it into frag. Swisher just shuts it all down with a quick 3K. He heard them walking through the smoke, or jumping through, rather, and he turns that into a round win. So 14-1. They are not willing to give a single inch here on their CT side. At least Dignitas have confirmed no 16-0, but this pistol is going to be what everything rides on.
Yeah. I mean, what are the chances they win 15 in a row, or even 14 in a row?
Never tell me the odds.
Yeah, those are tough odds. Let's see. ZoneGG running out ladder. Dignitas, they have the right numbers in the right places, but they're not seem to be looking in the right direction. Now the Glocks are tapping away long range, and the kills are already raining in for ZoneGG, and this game might be over before it even begins, Mike.
You know they're feeling good when they're trying to burst fire the Glock from range. Thea at least decapitates Koga on the chase, but they've still got a lot more work to do to get back on, and this bomb has been planted. Hunter even still has a flash to just make life ever more difficult as they mount this retake, but kills are starting to stack here. It's not out of the realm of possibility. The kit is recovered as well. Thea is leading the charge, tapping away with that USP and finding damage. They've still got to secure space, and with even numbers, Xander and Hunter just trying to be thorns in their side and being very effective at it. It's all to Artstar, who can't quite connect with the first taps of the USP, needs to find it. She will eventually, but time is no longer the ally, and despite the kit, she's going to pull away and save what she's got.
That was looking so doable as well. Just there's tiny little mistakes, right? Like the spacing on the trade towards Hell, that would have been much cleaner. Just trade out Xander quickly. You guys are right next to each other. Just communicate, peek together, clear that out, eliminate that threat, and then you can just focus on the last guy in a 2v1 fashion, bait him out with diffuses. But I think at this point, there's probably just a massive breakdown in comms and energy, and probably hopefulness as well. And it's a 15-1 now. Dignitas forced, of course, into the buy here. No choice. And it's a tough one. It's 4 men going quickly towards the B site. Oh, and it's open.
See that little hop from Koga, just hopping over the angle from Artstar and finding it with the MP5. Now the site's open, the bomb's going to be planted. They've got their play secured as well, so that should be no problem. Xander is just tracing Milk to see if he can find some more damage as well. And they're pushing straight into this, no fear whatsoever. The force buy amounting to little for Dignitas, and it all rides on Rain with an MP5. She's got to do it all, and she will do exactly none. The bullets just too strong from the Rugrats side, and though these may be the Rugrats, they are looking like big kids in this round, or in this game. They dominate.
No prisoners in Winners League, Mike. You want to come out on top, you better be fighting with your blood, your sweat, and your tears, but it is ZoneGG. I should stop calling them that. Rugrats. Coming out with a win.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, when it's like right there in your face, it's really hard, but not really much to say. I mean, I think it's just a matter of, one, Rugrats are coming off a high. They're coming off a momentum, right? They toppled 2 pretty big competitors, Singularity, Space Station. Both teams considered, top 5 team in MDL. Both teams considered, some of the best teams outside of Pro. So, I mean, if you come out with 2 wins against them and then you come into this matchup, you're probably already, 1, you're warmed up. 2, the comms and the energy is just at such an ultimate high that, well, I mean, probably Dignitas didn't really have much of a chance to begin with, even without the individual talent. But, man, just seeing that ZoneGG roster in play, though, I'm excited, Mike. I'm really excited to see them.
Too. That was a big question mark coming into, I mean, this season of Winners League, this season of Mountain Dew League, just generally what they could progress. There was the sort of newly assembled, newly retooled. Yes, they had a great run in advance, but you never know how that's going to translate. And so far, it seems like that's going to translate really well. So that's a team to keep an eye on down the stretch here, and definitely one that has been impressive so far in Winners League.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited, guys, but that is it for us. I wish we had some more action for you guys tonight. If you've missed the action and want to see some quick highlight clips coming out from ATK and coming out from Rugrats, we have those for you. So stay tuned, check those out. And if you haven't done so already, guys, please do follow our socials. That is Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook for Winners League, as well as Mike's and mine down below. And that is it for us. See you guys tomorrow for the EU broadcast around 12 p.m.